Hi friends, this is going to be our collective reading for January 13th to January 19th, 2025. I am posting a weekly reading every Sunday so that you know what's coming up on the week ahead for you. And I'm always putting forward the intention that it is really supposed to be for my YouTube subscribers. So if you haven't already subscribed, make sure that you do so. And we're going to see what's happening for you for this week, January 13th to January 19th. 2025. We do have the full moon in Cancer on the 13th. We also have Aquarius season starting on the 19th. And probably something that's on most of your minds is what's going to be happening with TikTok. So I know that is definitely on my mind as well. I have done some readings on it, and one of the things that I've been getting is just like the energy just keeps on changing, and to me that is kind of an indication that like it actually hasn't fully been like determined. But one thing I did get was that I was getting reassurance that like everything was going to be okay for me. And given the fact that TikTok is literally how I get all of my clients, how I pay all my bills, I was like, okay, so that's reassuring. I guess we'll see what happens. But the other thing that I was getting was that I was supposed to make a YouTube. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll see. I don't know if that gives you any clarity for you, but let's take a look at what you need to know for this week ahead for January 13th, 2025 to January 19th, 2025. Thank you so much, Spirit. January 13th to January 19th, 2025. Okay, well, I mean, that's obvious. Okay, I'm laughing. I already had some cards coming out. You probably could see that some cards had come out while I was talking to you. That card that just came out now is the Justice card. I feel like this is obvious, right? Like, clearly this is the literal version of this. Like, the Justice card can be a spiritual meaning, but in this case, it literally does mean court. We're clearly going to get some big decision happening this week. So yeah, that's coming forward. That like thanks Tarot for confirming that we'll know something this week. Okay. So the first card that came out was actually the Empress. I love when this card comes out. The Empress is actually about so many beautiful things, and like it's very positive energy. It's very abundant. It's very creative. I feel like this is a time of like birthing new things. We are in the beginning of a year. I feel like for a lot of you, this is like new ventures, new projects, things like that. So if you have been feeling like you've been like coming up with something, or you are wanting to like start something new, this is definitely a go ahead to do that. Maybe this is also about like releasing some of the blocks this week to things that you have like blocks to why you haven't been doing something. Like I feel like you've had various excuses, or like you want the perfect timing to happen, and it's like, especially with the Magician and the Eight of Cups, I'm getting like there is no exact perfect timing. There's just not going to be a thing. So like if you have this idea, you have this creative idea with the Ace of Crystals, and it's like you have some energy to put forth into it, then go ahead and do that. So yeah, that's definitely a message for this week. Definitely let me know if these resonate for you. I'm also with the Magician. I do feel like you are also continuing to like think through what you want for this entire year ahead. And there is still energy with the Eight of Cups, especially being an 8. 2024 was an 8 year. We're now in a 9 year. It's like, I feel like there's still some things where you're realizing like things that you need to leave behind in 2024. That also makes sense, especially with it being like a full moon, and Cups energy is water energy. We have a Cancer full moon. Well, Cancer's a water sign. And the Cancer full moon on January 13th does invite you to like release, especially like emotional things that have kind of been like you're still feeling like pulled from last year. So that energy makes sense. It's kind of like, do you want those emotional things to come with you? Things that are maybe like blocking your sense of emotional security. If there's anything like that, like what's blocking you? Yeah, look at Page of Cups here too. Page of Stars. Ooh, King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. 10 of Stars on the bottom of the deck. Okay, we're gonna talk about all this, but what I'm thinking with like the Empress is like she feels very emotionally available, emotionally secure. What things are holding you back from feeling that? And those are things that you want to work on releasing to the full moon. Now, a lot of people are like, how do you release something to the full moon? You literally can do something as simple, like it can be this simple. You can get way more complex than this, but you can be this simple. You can literally look out at the full moon. You don't even have to be outside. You could do this from inside. I know it's cold for a lot of you. Just literally look at the full moon and talk to it. And literally say, I release this feeling to you. Thank you for holding this for me. Can be that simple, okay? Like, you can do so much more complicated things than that, but it can oftentimes just be that simple. With the Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck and the Page of Stars on the bottom of the deck after that, this is really just confirming what I had already said about the fact that you might be like getting some ideas that you're like trying to birth, and like these creations of things, like you're manifesting some new projects and things like that. And like we had the Page of Cups, I think last week too, and this idea of like, if you get an idea and you don't put it forth, that somebody else is going to. And so like that's, I feel like, a continuation of that week's energy as well. But there's a lot of like love energy here too, and the emotional energy. So like, is there something that you've been holding on to? Maybe you've been trying to manifest in love. Maybe you're wanting to, like, especially in romantic love, maybe it's like just feeling very emotionally content, because a lot of times with the Eight of Cups, we're walking away from situations that are not making us feel emotionally content. And so I feel like you're calling forward new emotional contentness. And this might actually be coming from many different areas, especially with the Seven of Wands. It seems like there's like a lot of places where this can be kind of coming towards you, almost to the sense where like maybe you're starting to get a little overwhelmed. You're like, whoa, okay, like, yeah, I asked for this, and it's like, okay, now it's like coming from like here and here and here and here and here. But another thing that I'm also getting with the King of Cups and the Ten of Stars, I do feel like there's maybe something going on, there's so many messages coming in, it's downloading fast. I know I'm talking really fast. So, with the King of Cups and the Ten of Stars, one thing I'm getting is that there's some sort of connection with a masculine, a man. I don't mean a masculine. I do mean gender in this case. A man that is related to you. Something with that, okay? So maybe there's something that like you are reconnecting with somebody, or that you are releasing something related to that person to kind of like heal your emotional wounds that's happening with this Cancer full moon. Cancer is usually related to the mother, but in this case I am seeing the King of Cups, so I feel like there's something related. It does feel like it's definitely like a man and family. But I also feel like there's this idea of like, how do you make yourself feel emotionally secure in whatever you consider like your home? That can be your home community. It could literally be like where you reside, like your actual like, like your home. But it can mean where you think of your home being from. Okay, so like if your hometown is different than where you currently reside, it could also have to do with that. So this is kind of like different messages for different people for this part, where like what home means, but like that's definitely coming forward, and there's like some processing that you kind of need to do, and just kind of realizing how all of these different things are kind of like connected. Maybe there's like some thing from your original home life that is still affecting you now, that there's just like another little bit of an invitation to like heal it a little bit more. Okay, and I'm just getting that with the Flower of Life and the Temperance card as well. On the bottom of the deck is kind of like, sometimes I think that we can get frustrated because we're like, I already healed this, why is this coming up again? But sometimes, grief is not linear. There's like, things don't just completely go away forever, and sometimes it's just like a reminder, oh yeah, I went through that, and like I need to observe that I actually did that. Maybe there's just like a little bit of another drop that I can just like let go of a little bit more. Okay, and it doesn't mean that you're going backwards. It's kind of a way for you to observe. Yeah, that word keeps coming up. Observe, notice for yourself how far you've come in your journey and where you still want to go. And not really, it's not for you to, I think that there might be times where you feel disappointed that you're not as far along as you want to be, but I also feel like that's not the main point here. It's not to grieve that, it's more to like observe how much grief you've already been able to kind of grow around, is what I'm getting. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else that the YouTube subscriber collective needs to know for January 13th to January 19th, 2025? Thank you, Spirit. Anything else for January 13th to January 19th, 2025? January 13th to January 19th, 2025. Okay, so now we have the Knight of Cups coming in and the Wheel of Fortune. Some of you are getting contacted by, or like something getting revisited with a love, like somebody that you've had a romantic relationship with. Like there's some sort of like something coming in that's like a bit of a revisit, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's so interesting. I'm also hearing Tale as Old as Time, like the Beauty and the Beast song. I'm hearing that. So that maybe that's a little sign or synchronicity for some of you, but I'm getting that song coming through. But it's kind of like, okay, is this a redo? For some of you, this is a redo. And for some of you, the redo is to like move forward with this person. And for some of you, this is a redo to end it on a different term for you. Okay. So that one you're also going to have to take as it resonates. This is a collective, but yeah, I see this person coming in to kind of be like a redo, starting again with the Fool on the bottom of the deck now too. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a redo to get back together. It could be a redo to kind of like rebalance out the situation with the Six of Stars, get kind of your justice in the situation. But for some of you, it is a reunion. Two of Cups. Someone might be coming in to offer you commitment. Whoa. Especially with that King of Cups and the Ten of Stars. Now, for some of you, this might still be related to the other King of Cups I was talking about, family. Okay. So take this as it resonates, but I do see, like, for many of you, this is a romantic thing that I am talking about. Okay. So definitely let me know how that is, especially, now that I'm just like also thinking like with the Empress, the Magician that we had at the beginning, if you've really been trying to like manifest this coming in, you might be getting what you've been asking for. So, but like make sure it really is what you have actually been wishing for. I actually just posted a TikTok a couple days ago that was kind of like someone is coming back, but it's not necessarily good. So yeah, I want to make sure, I feel like maybe that energy is kind of like resonating here too. So just make sure that you're really tuning into your body and checking in of like whether this is actually good for you or not. And as always, if you're not sure, you need more guidance, you can always book a personal reading with me at my Stan store. It's stan.store/IntuitivelyBeth. I put that in the description of this video. So yeah, all right, let's just see if there's any final maybe like blessing that my YouTube subscribers should like look for this week. Any final good news for my YouTube subscribers for January 13th to January 19th? Any final blessing for my YouTube subscribers for January 13th to January 19th? I'm gonna shuffle through this. Okay. All right, we have one card. I don't know what it is. The King of Stars. Okay. Hi, that's very related. So this is a good thing. This is a blessing that's coming in. Finances also maybe pop in this week. Joy, Sun card on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, a masculine energy may be coming in, but I also just feel like finances are looking quite good this week. So enjoy that while it's here. Okay. Capricorn season, let that money come in. All right. Yeah. I think that literally 4 stars on the bottom of the deck. This is the Sun in Capricorn. Okay. So that, I'm just getting that confirmation. Like it's Capricorn season. Let the money come in. Capricorn is financially stable. Let's claim that energy. All right. I hope you have a great week and I will see you next Sunday.